Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabans. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. When we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got some more drama for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel if you haven't already. So yesterday, there was a pretty big, it's an interesting term to use, big game in the NBA, although it was a preseason game, between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks, right? Because of the storylines going into that game. As you guys know, prior to the season, Darvin Ham was the head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers for 2 seasons, and then he got fired, and a lot of people were upset with the organization for their decision to fire Darvin Ham. But then, since then, Darvin Ham has actually gone back to being an assistant head coach for the very team he used to be an assistant for prior to him getting the Lakers job, which is the Milwaukee Bucks. So some people are speculating, oh, well, is it going to be awkward for the Lakers to go there? Is that the reason LeBron doesn't want to go back to the, to go to Milwaukee, whatever it is, blah, 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 blah. So I actually tuned into that game, and it was pretty entertaining the first half. It was pretty entertaining because the reason it was entertaining was because both teams really had their starters in the first half. So it was much more entertaining. I knew in the second half, the starters were going to be out of the game, so I basically stopped watching. I'm like, well, this isn't really going to be a competitive thing. But nevertheless, it was a pretty exciting game. But prior to the commencement of the game, prior to it starting, the media asked head coach Doc Rivers, one of the most winning coaches in NBA history, his thoughts on the Lakers firing Darvin Ham. Because remember, now Doc Rivers has Darvin Ham as an assistant on his bench. Right, so he has a direct relationship or connection rather to Darvin Ham. And then when it came time for Doc Rivers to weigh in on the Lakers' decision to fire Darvin Ham, he absolutely did not hold back. But before we even get into what Doc Rivers had to say, today's video is brought to you by sponsor PrizePicks, which is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks makes it easy to get real money action on sports and players you love. Pick more or less on 2 or more players in any sport to win up to 100 times your entry fee. For example, here's a possible winning player projection lineup: Tyreek Hill for more than 90 receiving yards and Dak Prescott for more than 263 passing yards, Josh Allen for less than 240 passing yards, and CB Lamb for more than 96 receiving yards. And if you're like me and you want to play safe, you will love the new features PrizePicks invented: Flex Plays. Flex Pays are the safest way to play PrizePicks. You can still make a profit or win some money back even if a couple of your picks don't hit. On top of this, PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So I want to read a little bit what a Fadeaway World article had to say. It says, Doc Rivers rips the Lakers for firing Darvin Ham after leading them to the West Finals. Continues on. Bucks head coach Doc Rivers still doesn't understand what happened between Darvin Ham and the Los Angeles Lakers. In a recent chat with Talk Basketball, Rivers spoke candidly on Ham's firing and explained why it made no sense for the Lakers to do it. I'm not going to get into the whole thing that happened there, but he took a team to the Western Finals. And in the following year, he won the in-season tournament, which they say should have a lot of value on. And then they release him, said Rivers. It literally makes no sense, but it happens. It happens to all of us. It's part of what we do. But Darvin Ham's a coach. He should be on the sidelines, and I wanted him next to me. The Bucks had their own head coaching situation last season, which is when Doc Rivers came in and tried to establish order. This summer, after watching him get kicked out of Los Angeles, he brought him back to the Bucks as one of his top assistants. And then the article then goes on to say a few other things. You guys can check it out and read the rest of it if you're interested. So what are my thoughts on what Doc Rivers had to say? I think Doc Rivers is taking a popular position, which is a lot of people were upset with it, including some of the biggest LeBron supporters like Shannon Sharp. A lot of people, but I can think of voices like Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins, Michael Wilbon, Charles Barkley, And so many other notable figures were upset with the Lakers making that decision. Look, the Lakers certainly didn't fire Darvin Ham based on his results in terms of he wasn't getting any results. He was, because the first year that he was at the helm, they made it to the Western Conference Finals. Now, albeit they got swept by the eventual champions, but nevertheless, they made it. So that's a serious progress. The following season, and this is what gets me about these people who were down on Darvin Ham. You got a lot of interesting people, let's put it that way, in media. Why? Because on the one hand, people were saying that Darvin Ham was this ridiculous head coach. Terrible head coach, doesn't know anything about substitutions and all of that. But then the Lakers go win the in-season tournament, and you got people twerking it up all over the place, slapping each other with honey, just basically hollering and screaming about how great Darvin Ham was. And I'm sitting there looking at them with a side. I'm like, but I thought you said he's a bad coach. But when y'all was in the locker room pouring champagne all over yourselves, he was a great coach then. Y'all were acting like you won the NBA championship. Well, Darvin Ham was there. Then prior to the playoffs, I vividly remember people saying, apart from the Denver Nuggets, the Lakers can beat anybody. Apart from the Denver Nuggets, the Lakers can beat anybody in the Western. We remember y'all. Like, we were here. We were there. I mean, we were there. We remember. So if you felt confident enough for the Lakers to be able to beat anyone outside the Denver Nuggets, it must mean you must have felt a little bit confident in the ability of the head coach to be able to help the team do so. But then they get to the playoffs, they lose to the Nuggets, which of course was no shock, although they won one more game than they did last season. But even that, prior to that series, there were still some clowns in the media running around, I want to face the Nuggets now. I want to face them now because this is our best. Just totally stupid stuff, like stupid logic, stupidity. Yeah, the Nuggets are the biggest challenge, right? They're the biggest threat to the Lakers. So in my mind, where I have pudding that flows through my brain and honey that flows through the molecules in my mind, I think, okay, what would make sense is, given the fact that the Nuggets are the biggest challenge, you know what I think? We should play the biggest challenge first. So that means we play the team that gives us the greatest chance of being eliminated first, and that makes sense, derp. That's what people were saying, like a bunch of morons. If you want to make it to the championship, wouldn't you want to play your toughest competitor later in the playoffs so you have a higher chance of going further in the playoffs? But no, not these people. Oh, no, we can do it. Well, while y'all thought that y'all could do it, Darvin Ham was still the head coach. But of course, they lost, as some of us thought they would. And then they just went back to their default position, which is blame. Who are we going to blame? Blame him. The very people that thought that the Lakers had a chance to win it all are the same people saying, fire Darvin Ham. You can't make this up. You cannot make it up with these people. You can't make it up. I'm not that good. So now they get JJ Redick, right? And we're hearing reports that, oh my God, the players love how analytical JJ Redick is. He's a wizard. We're dealing with the Einstein of basketball. This is fantastic. Y'all better win. Because y'all would look like, the Lakers would look like one of the biggest jokes in the history of the world if they missed the playoffs this year with JJ Redick. Like, that would be an all-time clown show. Because y'all will be looking like real buffoons for firing Darvin Ham just to go out there and get a worse result the next season. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.